Hey, Mahal everyone! Welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I'm your host 40 and we're back with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we are doing another underappreciated, which this time focuses on our Final Fantasy V pirate girl, Faris. Now, when Faris first came out, she definitely was underappreciated, even when her 35 CP weapon was already given to us. And this is because, you know, a lot of people look at the tier list for the JP version of the game, which tells us, you know, where these characters are going to be fitting on the tier list. And when Faris first came out for Global, she was still stuck at like D tier. Like, she was considered a really bad character in JP, and so a lot of people were definitely underrating her. But then something really good happened to her in JP, and we will get to that in the video. But we're gonna go ahead and just talk about, you know, what she currently has in Global, what she'll be getting in the future, and whether or not is she gonna get better, or is she, you know, gonna kind of stay meh. So Faris is of a fast speed tier, and she is also a debuffer. That is going to be her role. Her crystal affinity is blue. Her stats all across the board are actually pretty good. They're all pretty well balanced. No stat really is too low. She has two different abilities. The first one is Water Whirl, so this is a water brave attack that hits 4 times. It also self-buffs her with medium enfeeblement for 3 turns, which means that she has a higher rate to debuff an enemy. And there is a damage modifier right there, so 24% for the first 3 hits, followed by 48% on the 4th hit, which equals to 120%. Her second ability is a ranged brave attack. It's 1 hit. It's called Cannon Fire. It has a small chance to inflict 1 to 3 of the following debuffs, which is poison, small attack down, small defense down for 3 turns. The damage modifier on that is 110%. Now, her abilities do have the mastery system built into them, which is the same thing that Galoof and Bartz have. So her Water Whirl Plus, this time, is a 4-hit Water Brave attack. The self-buff is medium enfeeblement, again, for 3 turns, but this time the damage modifier is a little bit higher. The first 3 hits are at 36%, the last hit is at 72%, for a total of 180%. In order to access Water Whirl Plus, you need to use Water Whirl twice first. Her Cannon Fire, upon using it twice, converts into Cannon Fire Plus. It's still a 1-hit ranged brave attack. However, this time it's a medium chance rather than a small chance to inflict 1 to 3 of the following debuffs, which is poison, small attack down, small defense down for 3 turns, and this time the damage modifier is up to 160%. This is a list of her passives. Definitely debuff attack up is good because her attack power is raised while the enemy is debuffed, so that means she's going to be dealing a little bit more brave damage. Any of her passives that boost her abilities is good because it allows them to hit harder. Master Boost is great too because her max brave goes up after you master an ability. The charge ability passives are also really good, again, because it provides her a +1 usage. The one that maybe you don't really need to go for is critical power up. It's one of the ones where she doesn't really need it. It just, all it does is it increases her brave damage inflicted by critical hits. And then her Leader's Command, it's situational. So it's her level 50 passive, her Leader's Command, isn't really the greatest. So, I mean, unless you have some CP, I would definitely invest in something else. Taking a look at her artifact passives, this is what we have. The ones that you definitely want to go for are the ones that improve her abilities. So Mighty Water Whirl, you can use that, or Mighty Cannon Fire. Mighty Water Whirl, I would definitely at least try to go for 1, only because the damage modifier on each of the hits is actually pretty low, while the overall total is not bad. It's just, each hit itself is pretty low, so you might want to go for that. And then definitely Mighty Cannon Fire, so you can increase the damage that she does for Mighty Cannon Fire. The passives that you do want to go for if you're going to be farming her artifacts, definitely Max Brave plus 330 and Attack plus 108. I'm going to put both at number 1, followed by the one that improves Mighty Cannon Fire, and then Mighty Water Whirl. And you want to go for the 2-star ones for abilities. Her equipment lineup that she currently has in Global, so she has her 35 CP, which reduces her Cannon Fire's mastery to 1 use rather than 2. It ups Cannon Fire's damage by 40%, and now regular Cannon Fire has a medium chance to inflict all 3 following debuffs for 8 turns this time. Not only that, but when she gets access to Cannon Fire Plus with her 35 CP, what she does now is she also dispels all enemy buffs prior to applying her debuffs. This also increases the damage of her plus ability by 40%, and now the debuffs have a large chance to inflict them. So she becomes a really, really powerful debuffer as long as you have her 35 CP weapon. Her Assassin's Dagger, which is her 5-star 15 CP, increases the overall damage dealt by Water Whirl, and it extends the medium enfeeblement buff to 6 turns. It does the same thing too for Water Whirl Plus. It increases the damage by 20% and it extends that buff. And then as you have right there, those are her 4-star weapon, her 5-star armor, and her 4-star armor right over there. So then we're going to go ahead and talk about Faris's pros and cons. So what are her pros currently in global? Remember, this is currently in global. So she's fast because she is in the fast speed tier category, so she'll be usually acting first. She's unique right now because she's one of our only, she's actually our only innate water elemental user, which is pretty useful for fighting a boss that's weak to water. Her stats are, again, are overall spread across without a particular stat being too low. And she is arguably one of the best current debuffers in global, provided you have her 35 CP weapon. So you need that 35 CP weapon for her to be a really powerful debuffer. Now, what are her cons? Her cons is she relies on that weapon. Without that weapon, unfortunately, she is lackluster. There are better debuffers than her when she doesn't have that weapon. Like Laguna is amazing. Even without Laguna's 15 CP weapon, he's still an amazing debuffer. Vanille is a better debuffer. I would even say that Tidus is an amazing debuffer compared to her. So unless she has it, that's what, you know, she kind of relies on it. And her Water Whirl, it's good because it deals multiple hits. However, like I mentioned earlier, the damage modifier on it is a bit low. And she really lacks any sort of ability to manipulate speed or turn delay. So while she is of the fast speed tier, she doesn't really manipulate her speed in any sort of way or help the party speed. And she lacks a hybrid ability, which is a Brave plus HP to make her more versatile. And honestly, the mastery system, especially without her weapons, kind of hurts her because having to use the vanilla versions of her abilities twice before getting upgraded, you know, I'd rather have her mastered ability right away. So I feel like the mastery system hurts her, but then again, you know, they gave her that because, you know, it's kind of playing off of the characters from Final Fantasy V. So what could Faris be given to be better currently for global? So changing one of her abilities to a hybrid would be good, so making it a Brave plus HP. Giving one or both of her abilities a lower action delay, so when she uses an ability, she'll have a chance to act again. Cannon Fire should be freaking AoE, because, I mean, come on, who's ever heard of a pirate ship firing 4 cannonballs all at once at one target? It's a little excessive. And then giving her a passive that ups her speed when a certain condition is met, which would definitely be good. So what are good teammates for her? So support units that buff attack would be good, so then that way she deals more Brave damage, so Ramza is amazing for that with his support ability. And then a strong DPS unit such as Tidus or now even Squall would be good to take advantage of her debuffs. Now, what does she get in the future? So in the future, the first buff she gets is Water Whirl and Cannon Fire will be increased in their usage by +1, so that's good. And then she will also be getting a level 60 Awakening cap along with those new passives. So her Crystal passive level 54 is she gets debuff attack and boost up, which moderately boosts her max Brave and attack power while an enemy is debuffed. That's very powerful, and the CP cost is pretty low for that. Her Crystal passive level 55 is amazing, so it's called Water Whirl Extend. So Water Whirl's usage is now going to be at +2. The mastery is shortened to 1 use, which is amazing. So now instead of 2, it's 1. It slightly raises the potency of both Water Whirl and Water Whirl Plus. It deals more damage to debuff targets, and now it is a hybrid attack. It's a Brave and HP attack, and it changes Faris's Brave attack to Brave attack Plus for 5 turns after using Water Whirl. So her Brave attack Plus it's just a 1-hit stronger Brave attack, but all in all, that's amazing. So her Water Whirl becomes a whole lot better. Her Crystal passive level 58 is Master Boost and Speed All. It slightly raises the party's max Brave and Speed, after mastering an ability. So yes, she is given something later on where she can increase not just herself, but everybody's speed. And that max brave is just icing on the cake, so she becomes amazing. So she's kind of like somewhat of a buffer in a sense when she masters an ability. And then her final level 60 crystal passive is Cannon Fire Extend. So the Cannon Fire's usage is now +2. It moderately raises the potency of Cannon Fire. And now, yes, it is an AoE attack. So now the attack makes sense. All 4 cannonballs hit all targets rather than just one target. And the potency of inflicting poison, attack down, and defense down is increased even further. So overall, Faris later on, currently in JP, she's ranked at S tier. So if you guys are wondering where she's at, she's S tier. And she definitely becomes very, very powerful. An amazing debuffer. And also a great way to increase your party's speed. And now she has a hybrid attack. So she becomes a whole lot better. So if you guys decide to invest in her, or if you guys have already pulled her 35 CP weapon, there is hope for her at the end of the road. She does become a lot better. Alright guys, that is going to be it for my video for the underappreciated, which is Faris. Hopefully this video gives you guys a little bit more insight on the character itself, so don't give up on her. She's gonna get better. Right now actually on global she's okay if you have her 35 CP. If you don't, you might bench her unless you really absolutely like her, but you know, don't sleep on her. She is gonna get better. Alright guys, I am the Broadway Saiyan. My name is 40. Stay tuned for my next video, and Mahal everyone.